Good people, welcome back to Global Happenings. Today we're so excited to have you again. The Redeemed Christian Church of God Overseer, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has encouraged Christians, and he says that from now on henceforth, in the case of insecurity, it's going to be fire for fire. Whoa. Now, this same statement was made in another way by the Zamfara state governor some days ago, talking about Matawalle, where he encouraged the residents of Zamfara state to go get themselves weapons so that they can defend themselves. And they should do that by meeting the commissioner of police to issue them license, because enough is enough. This time around, it is from the pulpit. Let's get to know exactly what Pastor Enoch Adeboye is telling Nigerian Christians to do right away. Now, according to the news, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has asked Christians to defend themselves amidst the rising insecurity in Nigeria. During his sermon at the ongoing July Holy Ghost service at the church headquarters in Mowe, Ogun State, Adeboye also prayed that terrorists and all their sponsors would not know peace. He stated that there was no way in the Bible where God said a child of God could not defend himself. The cleric said he was surprised when he heard the news that some people ordered churches to be shut down for 3 months, adding that they had all overstepped their boundaries. Adeboye said, from now on, it is going to be fire for fire. Some jokers said churches should not open for 3 months. Who is your commander, God or Boko Haram? Let the devil try any nonsense. From now on, it's going to be fire for fire. I don't want to say much because I know some people may want to twist it, but I have searched the Bible from cover to cover, and there is no way in the Bible where God said a child of God cannot defend himself. If you find the place, let me know. He said that if they slap you on the right cheek, turn left. He said that one. If they now slap you, if they slap the left, what did he say? When God is silenced, do you know the meaning of that? It simply means over to you. That was what Enoch Adeboye said. The big question is, why is it coming now? Why were we all quiet all this while when these guys were gradually infiltrating the southern part of the country? Why were we quiet when some of the terrible things were happening? Everybody seems to be very quiet. Nobody was talking, now it's fire for fire and all of that. Let's look at what Nigerians have to say, because there's a lot of reactions right now. Someone here says, from now on, that Osimbanjo is no more or no longer relevant nor contesting for any post again. Somebody just responded exactly what I was thinking. He said, okay, now that Osinbajo is no more relevant and is not also contesting for any post, that is when it must be fire for fire. So all these 7 years that he was on board, why were this kind of statement not coming forth? That's a big question to be answered. Now one says, he say, bros, to be sincere, that was what comes to my mind. I am a born-again Christian from the north, but that the Adeboye has given room for people to see him as a political pastor. During Deborah's issue, Salt and Coker and other men of God condemned it, but Adeboye was quiet. This one say, go straight to the power. Which one be fire for fire? Another person said, the persecution is too much, but I won't forget the role many RCCG members played to bring this calamity upon Nigeria. Oh my God, a lot of things are unfolding. This one here said the Nigerian government should increase its military number by getting the youths to serve in the military to increase the fighting force. And this one here says, don't compensate them with your vote. Should be the one of most important messages too. And another person here says, just wondering how Baba Adeboye expects us to defend ourselves while politicians are fully protected. I am sure even Baba Adeboye is also protected by the police. Nigeria needs better leadership, and we expect religious leaders to speak truth to power. Exactly. There is no need to keep quiet again. After all, being a man of God, you don't belong to any political party. So you can see someone that you feel that has the capacity to lead the country. What do you know? Do you speak out? You first of all, even if you're not going to mention the name of the person, enumerate his qualities and tell the people, guys, vote for this particular man. I think it is the ideal person. Some of them still believe that there's a plan. God is planning something for Sinbanjo. We're still waiting to see how it's going to look like. But guess what? It is no more funny. The things that have happened in this country and the way pastors have turned out to be working with politicians has messed up even our own religion, which is Christianity. I didn't expect this, but however, we are hopeful that God, in his mysterious way, is still working out something. Nobody believes that someone like Peter Obi will go this extra mile in terms of support in and outside the shores of the South. He has gotten enough support, and Nigerians are no more willing to listen to any pastor again. Why? Because unfortunately, they have been quiet. Some of them have supported this whole thing that has brought this whole mess to Nigerians. So a few days ago, I heard what President Muhammadu Buhari said about those who attacked some men and some military people in Shiroro, where they took out so many lives. He said that he's going to pursue the so-called terror masters, terrorists, to their holes, that they should know that it's over for them and all of that. We've heard these stories for too long. Don't you think that we should go back to the base and fix this thing? It has nothing to do with the military. Immediately there is a compromise in the military. Immediately things are not working the way it should work automatically. This is the end product of it. Imagine a country of 200 million people being held being held in ransom. It's unthinkable. They hold down a whole nation of 200 million people. Some few miscreants are able to do that. It is because something is wrong. If we had fixed this thing early enough, if we have done the right thing that was supposed to be done, all of this wouldn't have happened. And we all know the right thing that would have been done. How can they be on a yearly basis giving enough budget to the military? And at the end of the day, these boys are just carrying very funny guns around, or very funny equipment around. I could still remember some time ago, there was this video I saw. I think a police officer died or something, and they needed to fire some shots for him. And by the time they say fire, the first person shot into the air. That was nice. The second person fire. He couldn't do anything with what he was holding. He couldn't. And I was like, whoa. So imagine during this policeman burial, imagine if this same so-called terrorists decide to invade. Somebody will be holding a weapon but cannot use it. Why should this be happening when on a yearly basis there's a huge budget for this? And those who have done this thing, nobody cares to talk about it. It's really serious. I mean, and like somebody had already asked, the overseer of RCCG, defend with what? That's another big question that needs to be answered. Defend with what? Israel is a nation and they are God's own people, but they didn't fold their hands waiting for God to come down from heaven to save them from their enemies. They are always ready to defend themselves. That alone would have made even our own people to know that this is what we have to do. Israel, they saw themselves as missed enemies. Why were they not all in the temple praying, Father, come and deliver us, Father, come and deliver us? See the level of fortification these guys have, such that if you shoot from outside, it can't enter into their territory. I mean, so it's not the issue of say this and that and that. Enough of these lies. There was this religious lies that was just flying, and everybody were really enjoying that religious lie. Enough of it. Somebody asked the question, why are they not staying and be laying curses as they have been laying? We've been seeing such men, we cursed them, we cursed them. What had happened? Nothing happened, because God has given us wisdom to start acting. And this is the right time for churches to rally around and prove that we are also in charge of this country. Not when that time comes, we just shut our mouth and pretend as if we don't know anything. I love what Catholic Church did. And a thumbs up to them. They said if you don't have a voter's card, you are not entering the church. You are not taking anything from the church. Go and get it. That is the same thing that should be done also in all these churches. Ensure that on that particular day, you as a man of God, you go out and vote. There is nothing wrong with it. It is your legitimate right. And I would like to leave it there. Let's see what will happen in future, because I know very soon they're going to be dragging him out, but he needs to stand his ground.